Hey YouTube, welcome back to the second episode of Cooking with Sammi J. Tonight we're going to be cooking turkey wings. We're going to cook some collard greens that we will cook with smoked turkey meat. And we're going to cook some chicken flavored rice. So come on, let's go. First we have here the collard greens. I already went in and I chopped some of the collard greens up just so that you guys can see exactly what you need to do with them. You want to chop them up so that they're like in bite-sized pieces, because collard greens can be kind of tough and they can take a long time to cook. This is how the collard greens would look prior to me chopping them up. As you can see, I usually just peel back a little bit of the stem. Now, throw the stem away. A lot of people say, I hear a lot of people saying that they don't like the stem. Well, the stem is what gives the greens the flavor. Collard greens are in the same family as broccoli, the same family as cabbage. They're good in vitamin K, which helps your blood be able to clot. So all that, and let's get started. Okay, so what I did was, with the chopped collard greens, I have some smoked turkey in my pan. I went ahead and put the turkey in the pan with a little bit of chicken broth, only because it gives it a little bit of flavor. When you use smoked turkey, things like that, you want to make sure you use some type of meat that has a bone to it, only because the bone is what's going to give the smoked meat the flavor. Okay, so we can put these in here. These are going to cook. I'm going to start these cooking in a hard boil for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to lower the temperature and let them simmer. And it shouldn't take no more than maybe about 20-25 minutes, depending upon your taste. All right, so we'll get that started. And another thing that I like to do is, when I'm cooking my greens, I like my greens to have a lot of flavor to them. So what I did was, I chopped up, inside of this pan, there's some chopped up diced onions, red peppers, red bell peppers, and yellow bell peppers. And then, of course, a little bit of parsley. And I just brown this in like a canola oil. You can use an olive oil. If you use olive oil, make sure you use the extra virgin olive oil, because just the pure olive oil is going to give you too strong of a pungent taste. Now, for time's sake, what we're going to do is, since these greens, you don't have to have a lot of water in with your greens. What's going to happen is you can take the greens and stack them high, and they're going to boil down to almost absolutely nothing. So what I do is, I take my the mixture that I have, the red peppers, the yellow peppers, the onions, parsley, and I put that inside of the greens. That's going to give me that extra boost, that flavor that we need. Okay, just mix that around just a little bit. I didn't add any extra salt. The reason why I didn't add any extra salt is because, remember, I said that I'm using chicken broth, and chicken broth already has enough salt, enough sodium in it. If you choose to use like pork or something like that, you want to definitely make sure that you don't oversalt your greens, because it can happen. Okay. Now, for the biggie, we have the turkey wings. What I did with the turkey wings was, just as I did yesterday, I soaked the turkey wings overnight in brown sugar, ice water, and a little bit of salt. You can use kosher salt, you can use pure salt. I don't think the salt really matters, because what you're trying to do is you just want something that has a salt content to it, so that the meat itself can start to pull in some of that water, and it'll give the meat the added moisture. So you can just let that soak in your refrigerator. Make sure everything is covered. Let it soak in your refrigerator overnight. So I have some here that have already been soaked. We're just gonna season them up, and the season that I'm using is, I have a little bit of Tony's Cajun season. Again, with me, a little bit of parsley, and a little bit of seasoned salt, just a very little bit. Like I said, I never ever ever use MSG. It's just it's terrible. It tenderizes, all right, it tenderizes your organs, it tenderizes everything. You're going to be in trouble. Okay, once we have these all nicely seasoned, we're going to put these in a pan. Just layer them in the pan. My family's small, so I didn't cook too many, but you almost don't let them touch each other because you want them to have an even amount of cooking time. So those will be in the pan. Those are in the pan. We're going to cover them up, put them in the oven, 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you want to take the foil off. Take the foil off, put the foil to the side, and let them continue to cook. The reason why you're going to take the foil off is because you want them to start to brown. They will not brown if you have the foil covering the turkey. Okay? The next thing that we're going to do here, just real quick, is we're going to do the seasoned rice. Here I have 4 cups of chicken broth. Okay? And inside of my chicken broth, the only thing that I put in there was black pepper. And this goes out to Big Marty of Southeast. You said that I didn't use black pepper, so I want you to see black pepper. Black pepper for Big Marty. Love you, Big Marty. All right, so we have the chicken broth. We're going to do 2 cups of rice. I use parboiled rice only because it cooks faster. You can buy it in the grocery store. It's inexpensive, works wonders. Going to let that simmer for a little while until you want to start it off at, let it have a hard boil for about 2 minutes. Reduce the heat, let it simmer. While that's doing that, I'm going to take a break. See you in a little bit. Okay, YouTube, so we're back. This was one of the, a meal that was a little longer than the other meals. This is like a southern meal, something that you would cook in the wintertime, you know, if you have family and friends over. The turkey took maybe about 2.5 hours to cook because turkey, naturally, it has a lot of fiber, muscle tissues, things like that in it, and the meat can be tough if you don't cook it nice and slow. So we have the finished turkey wings here. I'm gonna we have the rice here. Off camera, all I did with the rice was after it finished cooking, I just went ahead and I added a little bit of garlic butter, and you can make the garlic butter at home. It's just natural butter. It's garlic and just a little bit of parsley. You want to put it in there on the top like that. Use a fork to fluff it up. Your rice should not be gummy. If you follow the recipe to the T, you will not have gummy rice. There's nothing worse than gummy rice. Okay, put that there. Then we have, of course, the collard greens off camera. The only thing that I did to the collard greens that was extra was I added a little bit of turkey meat. That was the smoked turkey meat that I had used initially. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to plate this up. I have already the turkey wings. You have the drumstick. You have the actual wing itself. I'm going to take some of these collard greens. These collard greens are spicy. You have to actually add salt and pepper and other seasonings as you like it. I don't like a lot of salt. Like I said, we use chicken broth. Chicken broth has way more salt in it than it actually should. There's no need for you to go back and add extra salt. But if you choose to do so, then of course that's your own right. We have the rice. See how the rice just flows right out? It's not gummy. It's not sticky. It's nice looking rice. And there you have it. You have your chicken flavored rice. You have your collard greens with smoked meat. You have the turkey wings that we baked, added a little bit of red pepper and onions just for the garnish. And that's it. And so, thank you guys so much for all of the comments that you left about the very first episode. We really tried to put that out there. The recipe for this episode will be in the description box on YouTube. You can also get the you can also get the recipe by following my husband on Twitter at double36double, or you can inbox me at BOOCABEAR@iCloud.com. Nice cooking with you guys. If you guys have any recipes that you want me to try out or that you think that we should put on the YouTube show, please send those to the BookaBear@iCloud.com. I would love to try them. I love to mention your name. Until then, I'm out.